Agriculture. Agriculture. Agriculture is the science or art of cultivating the soil, growing and harvesting crops, and raising livestock. Agriculture is a primary activity. The transformation from a plant, for example, cotton, to a finished product, that is, cloth, involves three types of economic activities: primary, secondary, tertiary. Primary activities. It includes all those activities which are connected with extraction and production of natural resources. Agriculture, fishing, and lumbering are the examples of primary activities. Secondary activities. These are concerned with the processing of natural resources manually or using machines, for example, manufacturing of steel, weaving of cloth, baking of bread, etc. Tertiary activities. These are the activities which provide support to the primary and secondary sectors through services, for example, transport, trade, banking, insurance, and advertising, etc. Now let's recall the example given of cotton cloth. Growing of cotton is a primary activity. Weaving of cotton cloth with cotton fiber is secondary, and transporting and selling of cloth is called the tertiary activity. The same cycle moves in most of the agricultural products. Importance of agriculture. Basic needs. Agriculture is the most basic form of human activity to provide food, vegetables, fruits, and other basic necessities of life. It also produces animal products like milk, wool, etc. Raw materials. A large variety of agro-based industries like cotton, jute, sugar, etc. depend upon agriculture for their raw materials. Employment. Agriculture provides employment to a large number of skilled and unskilled workers. About 50% of the world's population is engaged in agriculture. Types of farming. Depending upon the geographical conditions, demand of produce, labor, and level of technology, farming can be classified into two main types, that is, subsistence farming and commercial farming. Subsistence agriculture. In this type of agriculture, crops grown are consumed by the farmer and his family. The main aim of the farmer is to satisfy the need of his family. A greater part of the land is used for growing food crops. The farmer normally has no surplus produce to sell in the market. Subsistence agriculture is generally of two types: intensive subsistence agriculture, primitive subsistence agriculture. Intensive subsistence agriculture. Under this farming, high yield is obtained by applying higher and modern inputs like fertilizers, pesticides, high-yielding variety of seeds, etc. Crops are grown on small land holdings and more than one crop grown annually on the same plot. This type of agriculture is carried on mostly in monsoon lands of Asia, including India, China, Japan, Bangladesh, and Malaysia. Primitive subsistence agriculture. It includes shifting cultivation, nomadic herding, shifting cultivation. Under this, a small piece of forest is cleared by felling the trees, cutting the bushes and grasses, and the cleared land is then used for cultivation. The crops are grown for a few years and then the cultivator shifts to a new site. Shifting cultivation is known by different names in different areas. It is known as jooming in India. It is practiced in the thickly forested areas of the Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of Southeast Asia, and Northeast India. Shifting cultivation is normally discouraged because it leads to deforestation, which has an adverse impact on the environment. Nomadic herding. It is practiced in the semi-arid and arid regions of Sahara, Central Asia, and some parts of India like Rajasthan and Jammu and Kashmir. In this type of farming, herdsmen move from place to place with their animals for fodder and water along defined routes. Sheep, camel, yak, and goats are most common animals. They provide milk, meat, wool, hides, and other products to the herders and their families. Farmers grow crops to sell in the market. Profit motive is the basis of commercial agriculture. Farmers grow both cash as well as food crops. This type of cultivation provides raw materials to the agro-based industry. Commercial agriculture can be basically categorized into extensive, intensive, plantation, and mixed farming. Extensive agriculture. This type of agriculture is practiced in the mid-latitude grasslands in the interiors of the continents. It is carried out on large scale, and most of the activities are accomplished with the help of modern machinery. The agriculture farms are very large, with an average extent of being 400 hectares. This type of agriculture is found in Russia, USA, Argentina, Australia, etc. Under this type of agriculture, per hectare production may be less, but total production is very high. Wheat, oats, rye, flax, barley, etc. are the major crops grown. Intensive agriculture. Under this agriculture, high yield is obtained by applying higher and modern inputs like fertilizers, pesticides, high-yielding varieties of seeds, etc. Crops are grown on smaller holdings. Under this type of agriculture, per hectare production is more, but total production is less. This type of agriculture is carried mostly on monsoon lands of Asia, including India, China, Japan, Bangladesh, and Malaysia. Plantation agriculture. It was introduced by Europeans to meet the demands of tea, coffee, cocoa, pineapple, etc. The main objective of plantation agriculture is to export products. Tea plantations of Assam and Sri Lanka, rubber plantations of Malaysia, and coffee plantations of Brazil are some of the important examples of plantation agriculture. Plantation agriculture is labor-intensive and capital-intensive. Mixed farming. It is that type of agriculture in which equal importance is given to livestock as well as cultivation of crops. It is practiced in USA, Western Europe, Russia, etc. It is also practiced on small scale in some parts of India like northwest Punjab. Under mixed farming, farms may be large or small. Major crops of the world. Food crops, fiber crops, beverage crops. Studies in agriculture. Comparative study of farm in India and a farm in USA. A farm in India. Sedentary intensive agriculture is prevalent in most parts of India. The main features are: size of land holding is quite small, usually less than 0.5 hectare. Farmers use traditional methods of production, and most of the agricultural activities are performed with the help of the family members. Intensive cultivation is practiced at every stage of the cultivation. As yield is very low, most of the production is consumed by the farmer, so living standard of the farmer is very low. Animal rearing is an integral part of agriculture, as there are no pastures for animals. Farm in USA. Extensive agriculture is prevalent in most parts of USA. The main features are: the size of land holding is quite large, with an average extent of about 400 hectares. Farmers use modern methods of production, and most of the agricultural activities are performed with the help of modern machinery. Extensive cultivation is practiced at every stage of cultivation. Per hectare yield may be less, but overall production is very high. Farmers raise livestock on commercial scale.